Hi there, my name is Kay Moon, and I'm a Western astrologer and twin flame channel. And this is a video about the Aries full moon taking place on October 6th at 11:47 p.m. If you happen to be on the eastern seaboard of the United States, please check a time zone converter for your local time. So excited about this full moon. If you haven't noticed about me, one of my I won't say it's not, what's the opposite of a pet peeve? Like a proclivity? I don't know. If you know the word for that, let me know in the comments. But like one of the things I love, live, and breathe off of is clarity. And one of the things that this Aries full moon is going to give us about us is that. And it just tickles my little feet to get clarity. I love when things are clear. My pet peeve is chaos and confusion. It's not that I love order so much and I'm a stickler for it. It's that I love to understand things in nuanced detail because I feel like that provides actionable intel so that we can make decisions, so that our nervous systems can calm down, so that our lives can move forward. And one thing this Aries full moon is giving us is clarity about us. And I am so here for it. We have the full moon, we have a communication with Ceres, we have an opposition to the shaman's asteroid there. We also see um, a loose square here to Jupiter. And we have a sextile to Chariklo from the sign of Aquarius. This is just such a really empowering full moon. Now, I want to be clear, you may encounter some things about yourself that feel less than ideal or favorable, but they won't be in a blind spot anymore. It's kind of like, have you ever had one of those embarrassing moments where you walk into the bathroom and you notice like you had a giant piece of lettuce in your teeth the whole time and nobody told you? Or you leave the bathroom and there's a huge piece of toilet paper trailing behind you, only for you to find out in front of people? Like, oh, how embarrassing, right? Um, this sort of thing is the sort of full moon where you find that giant piece of lettuce or the booger sticking out of your nose. It's like, okay, somebody could have told me. And here it is. The Aries full moon is telling you. So hopefully, we're all doing our self-reflective, self-growth work. We're not running away from ourselves so that we have the opportunity to see it. I'm going to break those down one by one, but first, I have a surprise for you. For those of you that missed cards and stars and emailed to say, hey, I missed the deadline, couldn't quite figure it out. I really need an extension. We are absolutely going to extend it. Thank you to Allie from Allie's Tarot, who offered to share the course with her subscribers on her live today, the day of this air date. And it's going to be Friday, October 3rd. So, uh, to benefit Allie's people, we will open the course once again through this weekend only. So you have until Sunday at 11:59 p.m. to register. We didn't think it would be right to offer it to her peeps, but not offer it to you guys since some of you asked, like, hey, I really would like to get in. So if you missed it, if you were waiting for a sign, if you needed to wait until Friday to get paid, this is your moment to jump into Cards and Stars, our major arcana and astrology course with ASO Tarot. The link to do that is below this video. Just so you know, the refund window will close on Sunday morning, 24 hours before class one airs. So know that if you're in this weekend, you're basically fully in. You're going to get lifetime access to the content, which we are so excited to share with you. and connect with you more directly, and love that there's a mix of novices and those who regularly read for themselves and others. Both the payment plan and pay in full options will be available. Link to join is below this video. Also, the community for Astro Lovers Star Club will reopen in late October with a chance to get readings with me. I know the reading calendar has been closed and booked out for a while now. There will be much more availability for those who are in Star Club. We're going to be able to talk Astro Love and you'll get access to me on twice monthly lives before the new and the full moon, so you can set up ritual, do your journal work, your personal growth work, etc., as well as other exclusive content with special guests. So if that sounds like your jam, where you and I can dialogue about the lunar updates, and you won't just be listening to this video, stay tuned. I also have next week, after this full moon, some exciting offers coming up from partners that I want you to take advantage of, especially those of you who are part of the Twin Flame and Divine Counterpart Collective. In particular, I have something coming from Made for Love and from Lee and Sherry from Relationship Reinvented, so stay tuned. I am excited to share something to support the Divine Counterpart Collective, as earlier this year I did offer the Union Workshop, and as you may have noticed, I am phasing out of that work. So definitely keep your eyes open for resources if you're looking for resources for your connection. These two, Lee and Sherry, and then Made for Love, offer some of the best available work to help you evolve yourself and your connection, which will undoubtedly be something needed in the wake of this full moon's energy, alongside of the energy of these eclipses, post-eclipse activation points. Lastly, you guys know that I've been kicking it a lot with ASO Tarot. Something I've learned from hanging out with her is to really enjoy the connection with those of you who listen to these introductions. I know some of you just can't wait to skip ahead and just get to the reading and decide you're going to help everyone else skip ahead and timestamp when the reading starts, because she's just doing all this talking that she just needs to get to the reading. For those of you who actually appreciate connecting with me one-on-one and the resources I offer in the beginning, thank you. I want to take the time to interact with you a little bit more as I'm able. This eclipse season was hyper focused on conclusions and endings, both with the Pisces lunar eclipse, which was closing focused, and the Virgo new moon solar eclipse. Normally, new moon solar eclipses are beginning focused, but since it was conjunct the South Node, something may have popped out from your past for final resolution or to be continued in present time. Also, something may have ended. I'm curious where in your life you may have experienced the eclipse season. Was it some sort of closure or continuation with family? I am also including pets. Love? Was it friendships, work, or money? I want to hear the stories because this one hit some stuff in my chart in a real way. And yeah, I'm still trying to settle energies and integrate what this means for me going forward. Hence the face reveal the other day. I don't know. I may leave it up. I may not. We'll see. If you have thoughts about that too, let me know. I don't know if it's worth it given how people behave in these YouTube streets. But I'd love to hear any thoughts you have. I've always wanted to just keep it about the content, and I feel like sometimes that sort of thing supersedes it in ways that aren't constructive to me or supportive for you. It can get a little performative. So, anyway, let's talk about the full moon. Thank you for those of you who stayed through the introduction. Full moon in Aries conjunct Ceres. Let's start here because this is the primary and dominant influential energy. We know Aries is our sign of ambition. It is our sign of behavior, action. It's our sign of movement, driving forward. Here's the deal though. This is our first post-eclipse activation point. So 30 days after the Pisces lunar eclipse, sorry, 28 days really, after the Pisces lunar eclipse, we get this post-eclipse activation point. So the themes we are going to see will reverberate from the Pisces lunar, full moon lunar eclipse, which was about 28 days ago. If you did not listen to that Lightworker lunar update, I recommend it. Catch this one, and it'll weave a complete story for you around the unfoldments happening in your life and where you have choice points for empowerment. Ceres is a closing energy. She's the energy of the harvest. And in this sign of our personal ambition, there can be a closure related to identity, ambition, actions that we've taken versus not taken, behavioral patterns. For some, this is going to be the closure of a motherhood journey or a stage within it, whether that's a function of your kids graduating or a function of entering your wisdom years and no longer being your body no longer being available for conception, or a function of something else. That closure is really highlighted through the Ceres conjunct the moon configuration, as both Ceres and the moon are emblematic of closure. And like I said, this is a post eclipse activation point, which was exclusively focused on closure 28 days ago. We also have an opposition here to the shaman's asteroid in Libra. And this speaks to lessons learned through relationship, growth through partnerships, integrating tough lessons after long journeys in partnership and collaboration with others. This combo right here, we may see geopolitically worldwide the closure of certain partnerships, which we have been seeing for some time, and the realignment with other partnerships. There is a very loose sort of trine from Pluto to the shaman's asteroid from Aquarius, which, speaks to realliances, but that's something we would talk more about in Star Club since that sort of information just it's no longer as viable in the way that it once was in YouTube for creators like me. So we'll talk about that in a private setting. All of that to say, in your personal life, you may find that you get some revelation about how you have shown up in connection, your behaviors, the things you've done, the ways you've done it. You get some sort of aha and epiphany about like, and it won't be a aha like Shazam. It'll just be this sort of gentle awareness mirror that shows up. Somebody may even give you some feedback. Somebody who's a partner to you may share with you, like, this thing that you do here, like, what's that about? Where is this coming from? This sort of thing. You may get some, you may get some feedback. And the feedback the thing I like about the feedback at this time is that it's not coming from a retaliatory place. If you get feedback, it may be coming from a hurt place. And so there is an opportunity with some of the other aspects here to really dig in and look for yourself spiritually and heal. You know the phrase hurt people hurt people. You may discover where you have been hurting and why you may have unknowingly or unwittingly been hurting other people. You may also find at this time that you have some things to say to someone about such behaviors. Like, this is what you need to know. Like, this is why I've closed out interactions in the way that we used to have them. Because my experience of you was X, it was Y, it was Z, and I'm just not interested in that. Or, there may be some sort of negotiation or renegotiation around the way we act toward one another. Okay. So, this is really constructive energy. It's less about mm, romance and more about growth, personal growth in partnership and collaboration. We also see a loose square to Jupiter, which Can be challenging, especially in the days after the full moon, as the full moon moves into precise square with Jupiter after the full moon. This, the challenge here is around getting your needs met while also expanding and growing into new territory at the same time. And this is definitely something ASO and I can relate to. By example, for you, the push to build something completely new while also taking care of ourselves in ways that we know we need to completely stretched us. There were sleepless nights, missed meals, missed interior deadlines. There was excitement and big ideas popping off about how to present this material in ways that were relevant for both of our audiences. It's been both thrilling and exhausting. Is that like thrillosting? I don't know, in a really good way. So you get the idea. This pull in our lives to expand shows up while a simultaneous demand to honor our needs is apparent with this full moon. And it can absolutely show up in partnership. So I want to be clear. Um, this isn't portend a breakup. Like just because there's an ask of a partner to expand, and you know that that's in conflict with some of your core needs, this doesn't insist upon any sort of like ending. I'm not seeing that here. I'm not seeing what I am seeing. The only ending I am seeing isn't in partnership, it's in personal behaviors, it's in the ways we show up. So that we can balance this, what we need to do is assess which of our needs are ones that are like nice to have. Like personally, I feel like I really could need a pumpkin spice latte during spooky season every single day of the week. However, that's actually a nice to have. Now, that's an exaggerated example, but a more real example for people who kind of hang out here with me, because you guys really are on a growth track. Everyone I've spoken to, there's no one here that's not keen to look in the mirror and do their work. Sometimes we can cultivate needs based on traumatic situations, and they aren't technically needs, they are reactions to uh, they're hypervigilant responses to having gotten severely wounded in the past. So here's an example. Let's say as a child, your parents prioritized the dog over you, and the dog, um, you know, bit you a lot. And not only did it bit you, it would carry you in its mouth and drag you around like a toy and then gnaw on your arm. As an adult, you may find that dogs, you kind of flinch or withdraw from their energy from when you see them coming. Like it's not a great response or reaction to them. And so you grow into a hyper vigilant state around dogs, even small dogs, because you were so small when you got, sort of hurt by dogs and your parents let them. So you could come into connections, interactions, relationships with people as an adult feeling this urgent need to never be around dogs, to only ever be prioritized if a dog is in the room. And you could feel hyper vigilant that people keep their dogs away from you and walk around with this need that no dogs can be where you are, right? And that can feel as hot and urgent and mandatory as a need for food, clothing, shelter, clean water, clean air, education, right? The right to survive and live. That can feel as hot and urgent to that. But once your relationship to that trauma is healed, you may take on a neutrality to dogs. Anything you could ultimately take on a neutrality to through healing confirms for us It's not actually a need. It's sort of a trauma-based hypervigilant reaction. And that doesn't mean don't honor it, get some healing around it. It means that it's not actually a need. With that being said, this full moon can expose. I know it's a very long-winded example, but hopefully it gave you some real clarity. This full moon can expose where we have been hiding behind trauma-based reactive hypervigilances and needs and demands from other people, and it has been compromising our capacity to connect with them directly, because instead of allowing them to connect with us and us connecting with them, we may have had some behaviors and hoops and checklists for them to jump through to prove that they're not the parent who's going to let the dog bite us again. Okay, hopefully, it was a long way around, but hopefully it gave you clarity around the ways this full moon is giving us an opportunity to catapult forward in growth so that we can have better relationships. Okay. Um, mm, mm, mm. The key here, like I said, is going to be about really figuring out, which of the needs are actual needs and which parts of our expansion need to be phased, like step by step. Like, no one's asking you to get over the trauma tonight by the end of this full moon. It's a step by step process. It could take a while to really see it and process what happened, and that's okay. The point is with this full moon is to see it and begin taking the steps. Okay. Uh, Understanding that this full moon is going to deliver some emotional messages about where we can be more in alignment with our true self. With all endings, there can be some grief. So if that shows up, let yourself feel it. It's going to be natural. And then with this full moon, we also see a sextile to Chericlo, which I love. She's retrograde, which sort of can facilitate, she's intercessional blessing from the other side. However, in this moment, rather than spiritual intercessional blessing, we may get communal intercessional blessing. You may find that your friends, your community, your colleagues are people who really bring blessing into your life. They're the sorts of people who can help turn things around, be there for you, point you in the right direction at this full moon. Okay? Oh, sorry. Yeah, full moon, if you really need it. So don't be afraid to phone a friend. That old song from the Golden Girls comes to mind. This is the full moon where that particular group of people can really have your back. Okay. Let's talk about signs who are gonna feel it most, and then I'll give you a little preview into the kinds of stuff we'll talk about in Star Club when it launches later this month. If you have sun, moon, rising, or stelliums in the mid degrees of Aries, there's Aries, Libra, there, Capricorn, or Cancer, or if people you love do, you're going to see them under the influence of this full moon more. If you also have sun, moon, or rising or stelliums in Leo or Sagittarius, the other two fire signs, you too may feel this particular full moon more potently than other people. So, definitely, if you love people with those placements, check on them, especially if they go a little quiet at this full moon. They could probably just use that friendly phone call, like, "Hey, how's it going? Just want to let you know I appreciate you. I'm here for you. Whatever you need, let's talk." This sort of thing. It could go a very long way for your loved ones at this full moon. Other transits showing up at this time that are going to be impactful and some headlines for them. Won't be going in depth. We'll be doing that in Star Club. We have seen Venus conjunct the South Node This is where we see the release of bonds that no longer sustain us. Oh, gentle reminder, I sometimes forget to ask, but if you could share or like the video or subscribe if you're new or comment, that would be cool. Appreciate you guys. Okay. Venus conjunct the South Node. This is where we see the release of bonds that no longer sustain us. We see Jupiter opposite Pluto. This is ambition and intensity running real high. We've got Pluto square Mars. This is productivity on 10, but this is more ambition that can make for warlike circumstances. Thank goodness Mars is not retrograde square Pluto. That would almost guarantee that outcome. But with a passing up square, there's tension that escalates and then quickly dissipates. So while tensions are running high as we keep our eyes on the flotilla and the humanitarians that have been taken, I do believe further escalation is not likely at this time. However, we do see Mercury, Mars conjunct with the creation goddess. So here's Mars, here's Mercury, here's the creation goddess in Scorpio. And this is deep, intense research and discussions that are happening behind the scenes where we're able to dig up the truth. Thank God Neptune is not involved, or the conspiracy theorists, aka moi and company, would have a field day. Just kidding. I'm not that big of a conspiracy theorist. Or am I? Mercury square Pluto here brings a lot of precision in research and details. It also brings uncomfortable truth being revealed that's also necessary through difficult conversations being had. Um, and we also see Mercury opposite Chiron and Eris here. Um, this is some difficulty saying what needs to be said in ways that aren't filled with blame and victimhood. And finally, we see Venus opposite Saturn over here. There's that opposition. Um, this is challenges in negotiation, diplomacy, and coming to terms, but finding where alignment is through perseverance. If everyone can just stay at the table, they can find some sort of alignment. All four of the last four aspects I just mentioned, I believe we are going to see this generate some new geopolitical alliances with harder, less flexible lines for the powers that choose to partner at this time. What that means is something we discuss in Star Club in the coming months as it all unfolds and we watch it real time. We will see also aspects. We have Uranus and Gemini, Pluto in Aquarius, and that Uranus is opposite Juno. This is what's creating new alliances, quick turnarounds, abrupt endings, shocking new beginnings in alliances and partnerships. We do see Uranus stepping into Gemini, Pluto now in Aquarius. We also see Neptune and Saturn heading back into Aries. They're all retrograde at the moment. However, this combo right here, I've mentioned it before. I've tried not to mention it too many times. I just don't want to be super alarmist because I don't know for sure that we're on this track. I feel like there's a lot of room and opportunity for us as light workers to intend that we're on a very different path. But this energy, literally, if you do the historical research, you will see that all three of them are now in, at least two out of three were in similar positions as the American Civil War, the American Revolution, and the French Revolution, as well as Haitian Revolution too. So there is a lot also happening present time with African countries saying no to inequitable trade agreements this year, last year. That's creating worldwide economic change to include these countries equitably in the world economy. So more to come on that. And all of the above type configurations when the community opens. So if you're a trader or investor or a student of history, curious about changing geopolitical landscapes and social justice, or just want to know how to prepare for what's coming, we're going to cover all of that in the Star Club community when it opens later on in October. It'll be roughly $22 a month. I want it to be accessible for those of you whose conversion rate doesn't quite stack against the American dollar. So, as many of you as want to join can. And yeah, look for it. In the meantime, if you've been wanting to double down on that intuition, Cards and Stars is right for you. If you really need to get into a place where you can feel confident about what your higher guidance and intuition is telling you, link to join Cards and Stars is below this video. Registration open now just for this weekend. Thank you, Ali's Tarot. Closes 11:59 p.m. Sunday night. So if you want in, now's the time to do it. I love you guys. I'm so honored and privileged to get to do what I do. You all have changed my life in ways that I'm just never going to forget. I'm really grateful that we get to do this together each new and full moon. Thank you. And I'll see you if you're joining me there in the Twin Flame Divine Counterpart Soul Connection lunar update. And if not, I'll see you at the next new and full moon. Take care and bye for now.